This is it. The moment of truth.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fandango Big Ticket interview for Kinds of Kindness. I am here with the cast. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Okay, I think the first thing I will say is that trailer is really kind of all we had, and everyone's already like signed up for it. And so I really do have to say, it was the dancing. Like, it was what you were doing with the dancing, and between like La La Land and between Poor Things is Yorgos just now like every time you have to dance in a movie.
I don't know if there's a movie of his where someone doesn't dance at some point. I mean, I think every single film he's made, he's got dancing.
So was
the
that
dogtooth dance? I mean,
that's true. That is very true. So is this like, were you improvising? I just want to know that.
This one was improv. I had never done an improvised dance in one of his movies before, so that's pretty cool.
Where'd you find it? Because it's a
In
very
my heart.
I love it. I really do dig it. Jesse, I'm going to give you a slightly enviable task to ask this because, like I said, not a lot of folks know. What can you entice folks or what they're going to see when they see these very three distinct stories played out by all of you? I know this is like, you can do it. No.
Boy, without giving away too much.
But because you're in a lot. Let's be real. I think like you could help us through with what you had to do.
I'm honestly
You could popcorn it, you know, where it's like one.
Willem, do you think you can do it?
There's a guy
Who said
I
can
Not.
do
what you are asking.
Wow, that is actually
true.
Well, maybe not.
That's one facet.
I'll put it a little bit more simply. Everyone in here gets to play multiple characters. Did you have a character that you particularly found to be more challenging or one that was easier to play? And that's saying a lot because y'all all do a ton in every single one of them. What about you?
I think because it was my introduction to the movie, the Yorgosphere, working with all these people, the first one was so much fun and just felt so wildly different from anything that I'd ever done before. Working with this guy and him
And like as we were just
controlling
acting out,
my
yeah, he's
life.
the one telling you everything to do.
Was a weird type of fun. And then the switching gears over a weekend to Daniel, the next character from the second vignette, was tricky. And that one was not as much fun, I would say.
Yeah, that's fair. Fun
But
to
then
watch.
watching it,
Yeah.
funnier than I expected.
Oh, it's so funny.
And darker.
I do love that.
Yeah.
And that's interesting too because Yorgos co-wrote this one and the last one was a Tony McNamara script. They're both, the comedy is dark and it's hilarious. Willem, you've read both, obviously acted in both. What would you say is the biggest difference between Yorgos directing his own script versus adapting his work with Tony, or was it really kind of the same language all the way through?
It's the same Yorgos.
Yeah.
You know, so it is kind of the same language. Of course, there's different challenges and different pleasures, you know, because that's a period movie. This is a contemporary movie. Yeah, they're built differently. They're written differently. So there were huge differences, but not so much. Yorgos is at the center of it, and everything is kind of, it is very much a good feeling that he gives you a good setup. You do the thing that's prescribed by the world, by the text, by the other people that you're with. He watches, and I think then you go to the next step. There's very little discussion, you know? So that's the same guy in both films, even though the process and the kind of movies were very different.
Especially this one, like I said, with those three distinct parts. Hong, I want to talk to you a little bit about your being one of the new folks that are joining the, as he said, the Yorgosphere. Jesse, when you first read the script, what did you think? Because that had to be a pretty crazy experience knowing that you were going to be, and did he tell you right away you're going to be playing multiple parts throughout it?
Yeah, I guess what I was most looking forward to was all of the tongue acting. I had never gotten an opportunity to do that before. So.
That's not a spoiler because that's
It's very good.
So I said, sign me up.
Was that an intriguing part of it, the idea of the freedom that you were going to be playing sort of three characters, or was that a more intimidating part? Like, how did you look at that part of it?
No, you know what? I actually did very little thinking on this one. I don't know. It just felt like the right thing to do because it felt like you would be boxing yourself in by making any sort of decisions early on.
Mamoudou, I want to ask you the same sort of question about sort of joining Yorgos, and I do know like his sets are very jovial. You guys have all talked about how fun it is. What do you think most would surprise folks to learn about what it's like being on a Yorgos Lanthimos set and what he brings to, you know, again, setting up each day and doing everything? And y'all were in Louisiana, which I think is also interesting.
Yeah, in my hometown.
Oh, right. Oh, cool. No kidding. It was very, I mean, I don't know. I guess my experience watching the movies that he's made prior to, I don't know if I had any feeling of it being like this kind of austere set or anything that extreme, but just like you said, it was very fun. It was very fun. It was kind of easygoing, and it was like, you know, he trusted the actors and trusted his crew, and it was just like, okay, and we move on. So it was just like, oh, this kind of like hold on tightly, let go lightly vibe, which was really nice.
Oh, I like that. Hunter, I have to say, for your character, you have this sort of enviable task of like, you got one and you better make it happen. So I'm hopefully not, you announced it though first, so I'm not saying anything. You're like, my one scene, I'm like, okay, good, I can ask. But does that make it more difficult knowing like, hey, like it's like the home run derby. You got to hit it out of the park and connect, and then like you get out of here. Like, how quick were you on set and doing your scene?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like feel that pressure necessarily. I think it's probably because of how Yorgos kind of invited me in that it was just like this very sweet little simple email that he asked me to come play. Like, that's the word he used. And like, and so like coming in with that, and that was the invitation, and I only got one scene, so I kind of knew that I wasn't having to like reference everything else that was going on. It was just like, okay, this is the space I'm given today. I'm gonna come in, see what happens. And it felt safe to do that, so it was cool.
If I get that email, I'd call the police.
Very pretty.
Willem was laughing for 20 seconds before this.
Couldn't wait.
It's Yorgos.
We've done
Come out
interviews
and
together for
play.
like, 8 months now, and every single time he pulls a Billy don't. Oh, don't.
Do it all you want, and remind everyone, tickets are on sale. Margaret, I want to bring it to you because I feel like what Hunter did in this one was what you were doing on Poor Things, and I don't want to be too crass, but I mean, this is such an upgrade from Bang Whore. I'm sorry, you did it. You slayed that role, but you're actually the one that's playing the most characters in this one at 4, which again, not giving too much away with that, but that probably, did you have a favorite one? Like just the fact that you were doing twins, like how did y'all set that up on set? Like when
Ruth's my favorite.
Is it definitely your favorite of that one?
Yeah, easy. I like her best.
You were in some stunt driving moments in this one.
Yes.
Like, how far did you go on that one? Because I felt like they did a lot with you. Is this true?
Yeah, I am not an actor that likes to do stunts. I don't like stunts at all. If someone else can do it, I'm like, great, you do it. That would be awesome. But the one thing that I like stunt-wise is driving.
Oh, wow.
It's so much fun. So I couldn't do, I don't think I was like legally allowed to do some of those like really wide, crazy fishtaily ones, but there were some moments that I got to really blast that Charger, and I really loved it.
Oh my gosh, I really dig that.
Really
I like
fun.
the idea of you becoming like a musclehead too now and being like, I'm gonna get some American heavy metal so you can do donuts.
I would love that. Yeah.
There's some accidental fishtailing.
I did fishtail with Jesse in the car a couple of times.
Oh, wait a minute.
It was a slippery driveway, and I was like, here we go. Oh my God. He's like, oh, shit. Sorry.
And I was actually going to bring it to you too, because you also have a little bit of driving moments as well as for your, not as much as hers, but did they let you get pretty far in that one, or you were like, no?
That was all me.
That was all you.
Pivotal moment there
yeah.
with RMF. Yeah.
It's not just an indie drama, kids. There's real stunts and everything that they do. You did mention y'all have been doing this for a while. How quickly did Yorgos bring this idea to everyone that was on Poor Things? Because the timeline seems very, like, y'all must like each other a lot. That was very quick. You're in the middle of promoting it. So when did he tell you about it?
Like years before Poor Things. They had
wow.
been, Lanthimos and Yorgos had been working on it for a very long time. And so I read it probably before Poor Things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was going to make it
When was it filmed exactly in this sort of sequence?
It was filmed about 9 months after we wrapped Poor Things. We wrapped in December of 2021 and we started in like September of 2022. So it was very quick while Poor Things was in the edit.
I mean, that's awesome, and that man works a lot, but...
He took a huge break between The Favorite and Poor Things, though. There was nothing in there.
I mean, yeah, but I'm tired thinking about it. Willem, for you, I think it's a thing where you want to sign up so quickly, but when he brought it to you, what is it about Yorgos that makes you say, not only do I want to keep frequently collaborating with him, but quickly like this? Because like I said,
it's simple. I just had such a good time. First of all, I had known his movies, but I never thought I'd be in them for whatever reason. Sometimes you put limitations on yourself. But then I had such a good time on Poor Things that the second he says, listen, I'm going to make another movie. I want you to be in it. I'm like, yeah. I'm really attracted to directors because I think you can give yourself more easily when you've got not just the trust, but you got the reason to give yourself to something because you believe you want to be part of the fabric of that director's work. Yeah. It's a thing that's really important to free yourself and get you away from yourself and just be able to do things that you love to do without worrying about everything around it.
Oh, I really love that. I know that you had fun on Poor Things because of all of the hazing that Mark Ruffalo told us about.
Don't trust anything that Ruffalo says.
Don't ever. You're listening to Mark?
That low life. You don't see him here. He'll be back. Just joking.
Wow, I don't know if I would ask this question. I was going to ask if there was...
It's gotten warm in here all of a sudden. Oopsie.
I was going to ask if there was any hazing or any of that for the new folks on set, but now I'm afraid to ask. Mamoudou, Hong, Hunter, was there any...
That was my half moment.
What do you mean?
That Oscar Isaac was going to replace him on set.
That is
like...
That's true.
I think that there was probably some joking around on set. I'm just going to guess based on this interview. Anybody?
Consider
I got hazed by Mother Nature.
You got hazed by Mother Nature.
Crazy.
For sure.
Yeah, you were there too. Should I?
Yes.
No.
Well, yeah, we were filming in an active morgue. We were filming and having a great day. And then near the end of our day, we're getting through the scene. A tornado comes in and rips part of the roof off. And,
part of the roof?
Could see the sky.
Yeah.
Y'all were
We were in New Orleans. Everyone was fine.
Well, that was actually...
It was great. It was Hunter's only day. And she's like, okay, we're doing the scene. And then a tornado hit. A live morgue.
Brought the wind. You brought
crazy.
the swirl. Filming in Louisiana adds an entirely different flavor. Like I felt it in so many different scenes. Was there something that y'all really appreciated from filming there that sort of added to it? Because there's just the way that it looked. It's such a different type of Yorgos film. I was curious for you because
this is my first time working with Yorgos in America, which was pretty crazy. And I love New Orleans so much. So just personally, I was just so happy to be there. I had such an amazing time. But yeah, just being in America alone felt really different.
I also want to mention that something that we can talk about is the incredible needle drops of this one. Like the sort of like, we have the incredible score, which you have the composer on your shirt, which I think is amazing.
Oh, my mic is
Sorry. But there's also these just like moments with like the soundtrack. Was that in the script originally, or were those things that he sort of told you later? Because a lot of those songs are very pivotal to the action in it. So when did you know those were going to be whatever songs they ended up being between Sweet Dreams and the one you're dancing to? You were just dancing to Air, I'm guessing.
No,
right?
Britney Bitch. We picked that song in advance. We worked on that one for like a month. We were listening to so many like dance, pop, all these songs and figuring out which one would be best, and that's what we went with.
Can I hear about some of the rejects if you have any? Like nothing again. Come on, please.
Rude.
But no, but it would be interesting to hear what else was up there.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, approaching shooting those scenes, Yorgos told me about Daniel's favorite songs, that whole thing, which was important to know. Not exactly what I was expecting, but I think pretty perfect.
It is pretty perfect, yeah. I'm gonna try to ask this last one though, because I know it's very difficult without spoiling too much. Again, it is 3 stories and I want everyone to experience it like I did. But what can you tell folks to expect with this one? Like maybe is it related to something in Yorgos' filmography? Because I think a lot of people are talking about how like maybe it's similar to other films, or are there other films that you'd be like, okay, if you liked this, you're gonna see some of this in it.
Billy's the expert.
I mean, come
on.
on.
Filmography.
You do.
No. No, the only thing to say is it's less like The Favorite and Poor Things, and somewhat broadly, a return to his earlier work. I think just because it's contemporary, and a lot of the particular aesthetic choices are in the story as opposed to in the scenography and the other things. It's not in costume, it's not in a period, so it's in contemporary. So I think that makes it very different. So I know pretty much, I do know all of his films. It reminds me a little bit of his earlier films. But, of course, he's further down the line, so I think there's a different level of, let's call it sophistication.
Yeah.
And also in the writing. I think it's really beautiful writing.
I love that. And then I guess everyone's a part of the Yorgos Lanthimos tribe now. Has he called anybody yet for another movie? Because the man moves apparently very quick, so I'm just curious.
These two.
I was going to say no.
Why are
Really
you?
don't.
I would just like to know a little, like if you want to whisper, come on.
I don't think we can, right?
We can say we're making another movie. Yes,
Okay.
we are going to
So yes.
make another movie.
It's not shot yet, though.
What? It's not shot yet. No, it's not shot yet.
Okay, I was like, are you gonna? She's like, shush. What do you mean? Okay, it's not shot yet.
No, we haven't shot it. No.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, you can do whatever you want.
Talk to my wife.
You can do most of what you want.
Well, folks will be lining up to grab tickets for that, just like I hope they do for Kinds of Kindness. Thank you guys so much for this interview. And I want to remind everyone that tickets for Kind of Kindness are on sale at Fandango now.